Broncos country. Hope you guys are having a great week. I'm very excited for this video. I think I just might make this video the Bo Nix week or the University of Oregon week because there's a lot of different videos that I want to do, not only on him, but also, of course, the Alex Forsyth video is coming. I appreciate your patience there. It's coming this week, I promise. But wanting to make some videos to dispel some of the narratives about Bo Nix kind of reminds me of Justin Herbert a little bit about how when Herbert was coming out, people just thought that he was a product of the system and he would suck in the NFL. And he's a very good quarterback. So I'm very excited to dive into some of these metrics that we're going to look at because not only do they make the case that Bo Nix is a good fit for the Sean Payton offense, but makes the case that he's more prepared than any of these other rookie quarterback prospects, including the consensus top 3, right? This is interesting. So y'all be sure to hit that like, subscribe. We're on our way to 500 subs. Amazing. About to pass 300. And comment, because that's really going to help push this out to other Broncos fans. I want to know your thoughts, but let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys, what was the biggest issue with Russell Wilson outside of the cringe moments this past year? Is the fact that he could not throw over the middle of the field. He couldn't read the middle of the field. He's too short, all this stuff, right? As a defense, you just had to protect the boundaries and then up short, right? Easy. And when he doesn't have the legs anymore, you saw how that limited the offense. And I mean, I think he's lost touch with his arm as well. But we need a quarterback that's going to be able to hit all the throws, that's going to be able to maneuver the pocket, that has success throwing over the middle of the field. So the defense is forced to consider every single area of the field when they're defending this offense. Okay. And we're going to take a look because when we're talking about these types of throws, Bo Nix made these types of throws more than anybody else did in this draft class. What? Yeah. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. First off, let's take a look at Russell Wilson, the heat map here. Okay, guys. We're just looking at between the numbers from the line of scrimmage on through 15 games, okay? Only 130 pass attempts right there. And you can see not the best rating. I thought this was interesting. He actually got worse from 10 yards in compared to throwing between 10 and 20 yards, the intermediate routes in between the numbers, right? Can't have that. Cannot have that. Let's take a look at Bo Nix here. This includes the 12 regular season games, the conference championship, and the bowl game. Okay, guys? 14 games. You know how many passes he threw over the middle from the line of scrimmage on? 195. Wow. And you take a look at what he did specifically in the short to intermediate route game over the middle. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. You see his NFL passer rating is a hell of a lot better than Russell Wilson's was, with a 98.3 in the intermediate game and 94.1 in the short game. Okay. He was very good right here in between the numbers. All right. That is 174 pass attempts right here in the middle. That is very important for a guy in Sean Payton's office to be able to hit those slants, those crossers, be able to read the middle of the field. He's got the height at 6'2", whatever he is, to do it. He's got bigger hands than Justin Herbert, y'all. So you know he's going to be able to pump fake strongly. And I mean, we've seen that during his time in the college game. But you might wonder, okay, Dave, okay, see Bo Nix has done that. And of course, yeah, I think Chris Sims, I could do the math to figure it out, but it's like 30% of his completions came from at or behind the line of scrimmage. Yes, that's a huge, I don't know if it's a huge issue, but it is concerning because you want to see him make more of these throws, right? But I think he's made enough of them to prove that he does have a good enough arm to make all of these throws. And then specifically, when you look at this in the middle of the field, this is special because you might say, okay, Dave, how did the other quarterbacks do? We're going to go from the most attempts over the middle of the field right here between the line of scrimmage and 20 yards, and we're going to work our way down. So coming in second place, another guy that I was really excited to would be really excited to see here that I need to do more videos on as we get ready for the draft, Michael Penix. Okay. Michael Penix, 163 passes over here. You saw that, again, really nice NFL passer rating in both sections. And again, this is kind of funny. He was even better in between 10 to 20 yards than 0 to 10, but still very good 0 to 10. Okay. Okay. Good stuff. You might wonder, okay, well, then who is next? Probably a guy that has been rumored to be really liked by Sean Payton, and it makes sense. JJ McCarthy. Right here, you can see over the middle of the field, 147 pass attempts. Really good passer rating, really good success there, y'all. Now, not as great as Bo Nix, any of these guys. I mean, Bo Nix had a 68% completion right here in the intermediate portion of this heat map. And he also had 81% between the line of scrimmage and 10 yards over the middle. Wow, that's good stuff. But JJ McCarthy, good success over there as well. Looks nice, okay? Now let's go to another guy that I feel like is underrated, and I think he would be a good fit for Sean Payton, the guy who had the fourth most attempts, Spencer Rattler, okay? Coming in at 143 attempts over the middle, okay? You can see he had a lot of success here in the intermediate game, okay? That's great stuff. But still, guys, the theme is that all of these quarterbacks that we've just gone through, they all can make these throws over the middle very well, okay? And they were all asked to throw that quite a bit. Not as much as Bo Nix or Michael Penix, but still, like we're talking about Spencer Rattler, 143 attempts, JJ McCarthy, 147. There's enough there, all right? Now, the last three are actually the consensus top three, which I think is really funny. Drake May, right here, with 138 pass attempts, okay? Still good success, all right? Who's right behind him? One less attempt on the year. It was Caleb Williams, actually. Funny enough. And he had, let's see, 137. That's right, 137. And you can see, I mean, Caleb Williams did not have success throwing in this portion of the field. This really stuck out to me because nobody else that we've walked through has had below 100 and like a 118 rating at this portion of the field, and he's at 88.6. What? I mean, barely completing over 50% of his passes. And then lastly, the guy who made the least amount of throws over the portion of the field that we're talking about in this video is Jaden Daniels with 124. Really interesting. Now made some more throws downfield than other people did. So that's something to consider. But yeah, this is something to keep your eyes on, okay? It's very important to be able to hit the routes in this portion of the field and do it successfully. He's got the height to navigate, over and to see over offensive linemen. He's got, I think, good enough athleticism to maneuver the pocket. He needs to improve a lot on his footwork, but I thought that this was very interesting. So you're talking about how, hey, even my man Mad Titan on Twitter, he said, anybody but Bo Nix, we're screwed. He's going to get somebody like Sean Payton fired. I don't know if I'd necessarily go that far. I can understand if he's not the top quarterback on your board when it comes to this second tier of guys. That's fine. But I am wanting to make a case that, hey, if Bo Nix is drafted by Sean Payton, like, this thing can work. It has the potential to work. Of course, you want to see him making more throws downfield, but I think he can get better with that. I think when he improves his footwork, you're going to see him improve this as well. And I think his arm strength will improve with improving his footwork mechanics a little bit as well. But he has a good enough arm to make all these throws. He can put the ball or he can place the ball well, has good touch in all portions of the field. And so I think that this is something to consider that, hey, I really think after looking at this, it's probably totally even more unlikely than I thought it was that the Broncos would trade up into the top three to get one of these guys. Because if you're talking about fit, okay, I mean, this guy has been prepared more than anybody else this past year in making these important throws that Sean Payton wants to see than make. Now, could Drake May, Caleb Williams had more attempts if they had played their bowl game? Something like that. Yeah, I guess so. So of course, guys, like take this a little bit with a grain of salt, but you can see, the passer rating is still sky high in these portions of the field for Bo Nix. 142.1. No one came close to that in here. Probably the guy who was second most successful was actually Spencer Rattler, which is nice with 127. So I mean, I think we should go after one of these guys in this year's draft. And so I want to know what y'all's thoughts are on this data, taking a look at this data. Again, not the most perfect. I could, if I want to spend more time, I guess I could divide it out based on like average attempts per game. But wanted to just show you in terms of like who made the most throws this year, who's had the most practice making those throws over the middle out of anybody of the top quarterback tiers in this year's draft. It was Bo Nix. So y'all let me know what you think in the comments about this. Again, I thought this was really interesting. Be sure to smash that subscribe. I'm going to be back with another video. It might be later tonight or tomorrow, talking about Bo Nix and his scouting report being comped to Tony Romo, which I think is pretty interesting. So we'll dive into that a little bit. But thanks again for tuning in, guys. And as always, go Broncos.